A dramatic encounter between these two stars of women's tennis, the champion and the rising star Venus Williams, and it had everything. Venus Williams walking to the back of the court, her mother Brandy about to lean over the fence and give her the biggest hug of all time.
About to get wet too.
Well, she declared the other day that her ambition this year was to occupy the #1 spot in the women's tennis rankings before the end of the year, and she's come out in her first tournament of the year and rolled the reigning #1, Martina Hingis, in a drama-filled match here at White City to capacity house. The stands packed, people on their feet, applauding as Martina Hingis, a disappointed Martina Hingis, the defending title holder here, leaves the court. And the cheers now and applause for Venus Williams, a much happier girl than she was at 1-game-all in the 5th set, where she had to call an injury timeout because of cramp. We then saw Martina Hingis at 5-all have to call injury timeout as well. As I said, this match had absolutely everything except for Martina Hingis, the right outcome. For Venus Williams, well, gosh, she is jumping for joy.
Well, that is the trademark jump, and it really all came down to the 9th game of the 2nd set, that 20-point game that lasted about 12-15 minutes, and once Williams held that serve, it's amazing. She broke Hingis to win the 2nd set, the first time she'd ever won a set, and then with some drama in the 3rd, was able to hold on.
Despite the injury timeout at 1-all.
See a pretty happy Venus Williams right there. First time ever win over the #1 player.
Williams, the winner over Martina Hingis.
The defending champion, #1 player in the world, Martina Hingis, goes out to Venus Williams 3-6. 6-4, 7-5 in 2 hours and 12 minutes. An extraordinary match. Having a look at the stats, neither player did a lot with their first serves, winning just over 50%. Come on down and you can see how few winners Martina Hingis hit, especially off the backhand side, which is her best side, and only 3 points won at the net. 13 for Venus Williams in both those categories, and that helped the fact that she did have many more unforced errors. So a terrific win for Venus Williams in this match at the Adidas International.
Well, John Alexander joining me. Do you get the feeling that, good as she is, Martina Hingis is going to have to lift her game, because I think she might lose a few more times to Venus Williams?
That you can be sure of, and this is what great tennis matches are made out of, when you get a real challenger like Venus Williams coming along to challenge the establishment, although albeit recently established. I think we're going to see the best tennis matches of the history of women's tennis between these two over the next couple of years.
One of the things I thought was interesting, that Williams actually eliminated a lot of unforced errors and to a point played better when after the injury timeout, and she was restricted in her movement.
Absolutely. It focused her concentration. She couldn't afford to make loose errors anymore. She had to be far more prudent, far more careful, and play a more mature game. She really tightened up in a very mature way and played great tennis.
I know that had you on the edge of your seat, but the match coming up's also got you a bit edgy.
Well, I thought that's what we were here for, but we got a real bonus with that match. It was just a fantastic match, transcended just a tennis match, and hopefully the next match will be just as good.
And if you're a Rafter fan like John Alexander, you'll want to know about this.
To commemorate Patrick Rafter's stunning 1997 US Open win, 7 Sport has released Dare to Dream, a brilliant photograph of Pat in full flight. Superbly presented in a high-gloss black wooden frame, Dare to Dream is a collector's dream at only $150 plus postage and handling. Also available is Learn to Play Tennis with Patrick Rafter. Here are the secrets of Pat's success for only $39.95. Ring now, 1-800-151-777, 1-800-151-777.
Phenomenal tennis continues here at White City. Todd Woodbridge next up on the centre court against the US Open champion, Pat Rafter.